This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. What you just heard there was me having a bit of a go at a solo by this chap, Christone Kingfish Ingram, a fantastic blues guitar player who I've just recently discovered. To be fair, he's not been around that long. He's basically, I've got shirts older than this lad. He's only a young chap and he's keeping the blues flame alive. This is the album cover of his debut album called Kingfish, and the first track on that album is called Outside of This Town, and that was the solo from it, or you heard my version of it. Absolutely loving this guy's work. He's got a couple of albums out, that one that you just seen there called Kingfish, and that came out in 2019, and one that came out last year in 2021. It is still last year, isn't it? Yes. Basically, two albums out. The second one is called 662, and I'm just sort of starting to get into that, but I'm absolutely loving that debut album, Kingfish, and I just had to have a go at that solo. What a way to make an entrance. The first track on that album, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, you've heard my take on the solo. Let's have a little bit of a look at what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, so the solo is played over 16 bars of this riff. So that's it there. You can kind of make the case that what he's doing there is spelling out an E7 chord, because the notes in an E7 chord are E, G sharp, B and D, and just including that kind of minor third, minor to major third, that kind of bluesy sort of thing that happens throughout blues, basically. Over the top of that riff that, as I say, goes on for 16 bars, we're basically playing E minor pentatonic for the most part. There's a couple of extra notes. We get a C sharp cropping up and an F sharp as well. Now, technically speaking, when you add a C sharp and an F sharp into an E minor pentatonic, you get the E Dorian mode, but they're not really there for any great length of time, and they only get used, I think, once each, really. So it makes more sense just to think of it in terms of being E minor pentatonic. And we start with this big long bend here, like that, lasts for a whole bar, and then this next lick is where we encounter that C sharp note. So basically we're bending the C sharp up a semitone to the D, so it's and pretty much every time you land on a G note in this solo, you bend it slightly sharp towards, but not quite reaching the G sharp. The reason for that is because, again, it's that sort of E major has a G sharp in it, E minor has a G in it, and we're kind of straddling that major to minor kind of borderline there, which is typically something that happens in many blues solos. Coming up into the next lick, we have this little run up the E minor pentatonic. There's that G to G sharp bend again. I love that lick there. Just such a quintessential blues lick. We're pretty much done for the moment in pattern 1 of the E minor pentatonic. We will be returning to it later, but now we come up to the top end of pattern 2 in this 15th to 17th fret area on the first two strings, like that, and we've got a bend here as well. This is a G note here. We're going to see that getting that kind of treatment in the next couple of licks, which go like this. And then he plays basically the same lick again. Quintessential question and answer, call and response blues playing. If you play a lick that sounds good, play it again with a slightly different ending and it just works, as you can hear there. So after that we come back down to the first position of E minor pentatonic again for this lick. What is it? Oops. That kind of thing there. So we're getting, I do apologise there, we're getting this lick here, which is, that's partial bend on the G note again, and then essentially a bar full of triplets after that. So that's possibly a little bit tricky. You've got to do a little bit of finger dancing here, where you're coming up there like that, and it just makes sense to kind of go up there with the second finger, that 14 to 16 slide, to get that first finger onto that note there. But for the next part, which is where we bring in that blue note, that B flat there, just passing note. By the way, did you spot the F sharp there earlier on? There's the F sharp. I forgot to mention that as we were going. But yeah, this little finger dancing part, like that, I would recommend you go up the string on your second finger like that, and then for the next lick, use the third finger on that string, because it just falls more naturally into the pattern 1 pentatonic that we're ending up in. And then a big first finger bend on the third string. Okay, we basically roll from the second string onto the third string and pull down to bend it up a tone. And then we've got the more conventional kind of slight blues kind of G towards G sharp bend there to pretty much bring the solo to a close by going like that. So that's what's going on in the solo. Now you know, go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and a jam track for you to play along with yourself, and the explanation you've just seen there. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional resources that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, massive thank you to everyone, each and every one of you who support me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative, and perhaps even a little bit entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like while you're at it. Usually, round about this time of the video, I say don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. But there isn't one this week. Basically, well, there is a live stream, it's just not on Friday. I'm saving it till Christmas Day. Probably going to do it a little bit earlier so that I'm not too far into the beer before I go online. That could be that could have consequences. So I tell you what, we'll say maybe shall we say about 1 PM on Christmas Day. If you can join me, great. If you're otherwise engaged doing family stuff or stuffing your face full of turkey and cranberries and Christmas pudding, then fair enough. But I'll be around on here for about an hour at 1 PM on Christmas Day, just having a beer with whoever turns up, and we can swap notes on what Santa has brought us. But that is pretty much it for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.